Behind me is a pile of boots. That's what's behind me right now. And on the floor is 2 more pairs of boots that I regularly wear. You dig? And this pile of boots behind me is now smaller because my girlfriend is the same shoe size as I am. Which I'm sure, as you can imagine, with this many boots, she is somewhat happy about that, even if she doesn't admit it. Just a little bit of humor to start this thing. But yeah, she did actually take a pair of boots. But I want to talk about the idea that the troops in the Middle East are fighting for our freedom. Now, do I hate them? No. Do I support them? Yes. I support our troops. Do I support what they're being ordered to do? No. And do I support the ones that will take orders when told to disarm American citizens? No. And that's just the reality. And a very harsh reality that I think you guys don't realize is, for example, Staff Sergeant Jesse Williams, who died in that helicopter crash on I think it was last Tuesday. I'm not any more free because he died. The reason I oppose these wars in the Middle East is on the basis of the fact that I really and truly don't gain a thing from these people dying. Nobody has anything to gain from these people dying. How are we personally being affected? What are we doing? Let's ask ourselves that. We're so used to being in a state of war. What are we doing? This is a war on terror? Are you kidding me? What are we even doing entangling ourselves in the Middle East? Let's start having an honest discussion about it. They're not dying for our freedom. These young men with families aren't getting their brains blown out to keep us safe. It has nothing to do with us being safe. I mean, you really think that them fighting over there is going to stop, you know, Muslim immigrants from blowing stuff up? If the problem is the security of our state, then we need domestic security without violating our rights. But they're doing that anyway. But the reality is, I'm more likely to get struck by lightning. I'm more likely to get struck by lightning than I am to ever be involved in any sort of terrorist attack, statistically speaking. The odds of me getting struck by lightning are much higher. And it's just, you take all that into consideration and you put 2 and 2 together and say, wait a second, if I'm more likely to get struck by lightning than I am to be involved in a terrorist attack, then how on earth are we justifying us being in the Middle East? Are we keeping these guys from immigrating here? Last I checked, Muslim extremists built bombs on U.S. soil. Last time I checked, you can go to the pharmacy and build the tools to make a bomb. So then why on earth are we engaged in a never-ending war on terror? We're so used to being in a state of war. The goal was to get Osama. What was the goal again? Was there any goal? Did we want the oil? Or are we incapable of getting the oil? Why are we over there? This whole thing doesn't add up. You know, I don't think the whole Osama thing even adds up. Don't even get me started on that. But I want somebody to really tell me, how is Staff Sergeant Jesse Williams dying in that helicopter crash, how does that make me any more free? Because from the looks over here, I'm less free. I'm no more free because this guy who has a family and people that probably love him, I'm no more free because we had an innocent child, basically a child. These people aren't that old. Just because we had these young men get their brains blown out, I'm no more free because of that. Just because people my age, I'm an 18-year-old boy. Just because we got people my age getting their brains blown out doesn't mean they're making us any more free. It's just a way for them to legitimize it, my friends. They want to legitimize having 18-year-old boys' brains blown out fighting gang members with explosives in another country to fuel the military-industrial complex so they can make more money. It's all about legitimizing that. The young men of this nation that go over to fight wars are dying for absolutely no reason. And we, the people, are letting it happen. And somebody, or more people need to get up and say this. How are these people making us free by dying? I know a lot of conservatives are on that. How are they any more free by dying? You can say they died for their country. Did they have to die for their country? Did they have to die? Ask yourself that question, and ask yourselves, do I feel better now that I've answered that question? Did they die for our country? Yes. Why did they die? Was it really for our freedom? I'm no more free because they died in that helicopter crash. And I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of 18-year-old men, boys basically, dying in helicopter crashes and it being legitimized because somehow they're keeping me free. This is Jordan Jereb, signing off.